Welcome back to this special edition about the changes that come with time. Love seems to be back in the air, with studies showing an increase in marriages and a decrease in divorces. Joining us to discuss these trends is divorce and family attorney Jennifer Hargrave. So Jennifer, now we're hearing that the number of divorces are going down, or at least stabilizing, while marriages are going up after the pandemic. So is that good news or bad news out there?
Well, I'm going to start by saying, even though I'm a divorce attorney, I'm a big fan of marriage. So I'm happy to see that marriage rates are going up. For a long period of time, we've seen them going down, especially in Texas. And I think there's a whole host of reasons for that. So I think it all gives us all a reason to be hopeful that marriages are on the increase.
And when we see the numbers go up, do we see a reason why, as to why those numbers are going back up pre-pandemic levels?
I mean, I think one thing that's been discussed a lot is just the fact that people held off on getting married during the pandemic, which makes sense. All the events were closed down, right? Mm-hmm. So we see an uptick, a natural uptick, just by the delay of weddings that were postponed. But, you know, hopefully there's a sense of renewed interest in marriage, of understanding that living in a marital relationship actually gives both partners some additional protections under the law that aren't available to people who aren't married. So, you know, we do a lot of separations when people aren't married, and it's just a lot more challenging with regard to property ownership and parenting rights and responsibilities. When we have a marriage intact, it helps. The law actually helps married couples. So.
Now, when we saw an increase in divorces during the pandemic and after the pandemic initially, do you think that's because people got tired of seeing each other? Many people were working from home. They saw a different side of that significant other, and they're like, okay, it's time to call it quits here.
One of the things I felt in my own life was that the distractions that happen, right, in your day-to-day life with the kids' busy schedules, travel for work, just busyness when you're outside of the home, it makes it easy to kind of avoid the marital problems that are going on because, you know, you're taking a girls' trip or you're going off and doing other things just with the busyness. And boy, when the pandemic hit and suddenly there was nothing, there was no distractions, right? I think people had to come face to face with the fact they really couldn't stand to be locked up with each other any longer. So yes, we did see in my practice, I know we certainly saw an uptick in the divorces following the pandemic. And we're still seeing quite a number of divorces. So I'm not experiencing that decline that is being discussed, but, you know, I'm happy to hear if marriages can work, you know, if people are willing to get help and they're willing to, you know, do therapy or do things, learn better skills to be a better partner in a marriage, I'm all for that. So, you know, hopefully if that's the reason why the divorce rate is going down, then that would be a very positive thing.
And obviously, as a family attorney, divorcing or divorces is a part of your bread and butter. But do you counsel clients before they take that last step and get that divorce? Do you say, try to work it out, see what you guys can figure out here? What?
Certainly, it really depends on, you know, the client and what stage they're entering this process. If they're coming to us just to understand their options, which I always encourage is a really smart thing to do, but they're not ready yet, we love to give them resources. One thing I always love to talk about is discernment counseling, which is something I learned about as a divorce professional, that you know, a couple can go to discernment counseling. It's a specific type of counseling to really focus on whether or not we should get a divorce. And it's a great way to be having that conversation is it time for us both to move on? And we have other resources as well that we love to help clients with. And if they don't come back to us, that's great. You know, they figured it out. But one thing that I'm real passionate about is, you know, just helping people understand that they don't have to suffer when they're in a bad marriage, right? If your marriage is broken and you've tried everything to fix it, sometimes divorce is the very best option, and that's okay. You know, it's possible to have a good divorce. It's possible to have a better life after the marriage ends.
And for those who come to you for a divorce, seeking a divorce, do they realize just how tough it could be? You have to consider the children. You have to consider the property, the assets. Are they typically prepared for all of that?
That's a really good question. And it is important that people be prepared for that. One of the conversations we have with people right off the bat is look, divorce isn't like going to magically fix all your problems. You're going to be changing one set of problems for another set. So let's make sure we understand what the new likely problems are going to be and help give you resources and tools to manage life after divorce.
All right, Jennifer S. Hargrave, she's the managing partner of the Hargrave Family Law in Dallas. We want to thank you for your time and thank you for dropping by on the Factor Uncensored for some good news, I think.
Right. I hope so too. Thank you.